This is Patagonia community yoga. So I know a lot of people are missing their yoga classes at the Patagonia stores across the country. I'm pretty bummed in Denver. We just got a new store, new space. And we had just kicked off yoga again in the new space when this whole pandemic came crumbling down around us. But thank you everyone for joining. And like I said, we're going to be starting on our back tonight. We're also going to be doing lots of quad and core work. So with that, let's see, just make your way onto your back. Place both hands on your belly, feet extended, shoulders relaxed down. This is uncomfortable on your low back. You can always bend your knees and let your knees drop in towards each other. Now we will have the opportunity to move a little bit faster later in class. But we're going to start out slow and really feel into those areas in our body that are tight. And the slowest place to start is just by coming back to the simple act of breathing. So with your hands on your belly, you start to notice the rise and fall of your belly as you inhale and exhale. And if you are a mouth breather, try gently sealing your lips and let the breath start to move in and out through your nose. You need to grab a Kleenex and then come meet us down here. So drawing the breath in through the nostrils across the back of the throat, letting it fill your lungs, and then tracing that path of your breath back out. It's called Ujjayi breathing. And it's very noticeable across the top back of your throat. You want to begin to notice the texture of your breath as it moves across that surface. Then start to notice, lying on the ground, how deep the breath goes down into the lungs. Is it getting all the way to the bottom tips of your lungs, or is it stopping maybe right at the middle of your ribs? A lot of times we just fill our lungs halfway. So make sure you're pulling your breath all the way down to the space underneath your palms. So you feel a big belly breath inhale, and you feel all of that air leave your lungs as you exhale, and your navel drops down to your spine. Take another inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to start to elongate our breath. Inhale for a count of 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Seal off at the base of your throat. And then slowly exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel your navel drop down. Hold on empty. You might even feel a little catch right at your diaphragm. Inhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fill up. Hold. Seal right at the base of your throat. Jalandhara Bandha is what that is. And then exhale. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold on empty so that lock that you might feel right at your diaphragm is called Uddiyana Bandha. Release, inhale. Now counting to yourself, 7 counts in. Pausing at the top. Maybe letting that pause linger for a second or two before you start your exhale. And then maybe letting that pause with no breath in linger for a second or two. So do that 3 more times, full breath cycles. As you're inhaling or starting your exhale, notice if you press a lot of air out or take a big gulp of air in, and see if you can let your breath be a steady, consistent in or out. Notice if when you hold on empty, you start to feel a little fret. See if you can tell your body to relax, knowing that that breath is there and that it's coming. And then at the bottom of your third exhale, you'll keep your left leg straight and draw your right knee in. Interlace your hands and bring it to the outside of your knee, drawing your knee down to match up with your right ribs. Finding a little bit of compression here. Pull your toes back. Feel your shoulder heads heavy into the mat. Take a breath in. And then exhale with the left hand, you're going to draw it across your body, taking a supine spinal twist. Now you might shift your hips a little bit more towards midline of the mat as you let your right knee drop. Now this right knee might make it all the way down to the ground. It doesn't matter for this start if your shoulder comes up. But if you have a block or a prop or a rolled up blanket, it could also be nice to put that underneath your right knee. So just make sure they're within arm's reach as we move around on our mat tonight. So letting your right knee drop onto that block or maybe reaching all the way down to the floor. Play with extending your right arm out. So this is a pretty big stretch. Feeling an opening in your right shoulder. Feeling maybe some opening in your low back, your lumbar spine, and then across on that right side. Notice as you set yourself up in this twist, if you started to quicken your breath. Oh yeah, really nice, Barbara. And let your breath return back to that really slow inhale and exhale. Take another inhale. As you exhale, the bottom straight leg, that left leg, you're going to start to bend that knee. And then with your right hand, reach down. Crawl your hand towards your foot and your foot towards your hands. Maybe making a clasp. If you can't reach it, you can always use a strap to lasso around that foot. Or you can just reach in that direction. Keep your left hand on your left or your right knee. So we're kind of like a little pretzel here. And then for me right now, I can feel my hamstring cramping a little bit. So if you've been doing something fun, like bike commuting, the first time into the office in a year for me, press your foot into your hand and that should eliminate any of the cramping. Let it start to ease up. See if you can pull your right shoulder head down a little bit more towards the earth. And for my people that have very open hamstrings, you can start to extend the right leg, so that's the top leg, straight, and maybe capture that with your left hand. So opposite hand to opposite foot in this twist. Anywhere along the way though, that feels good, stay with that pose. Let that be your edge tonight. Take another breath in. And then as you exhale, let the left leg slip out of the right hand. Let it straighten back down. Slowly unwind the right leg, planting the right foot back down, and recenter your spine in the middle of the mat if you shifted your hips. Extend your right leg, and then draw your left knee in, switching sides. Reach up, interlace your palms, and then pull that left knee down any amount. Start to feel a little bit of compression in the left side ribs, and keep extending through the bottom of your right foot towards the back end of your mat. Press down. Take an inhale. And exhale. On empty, find that little pause, and then start to initiate the twist, bringing your left leg across your body to the right side. Again, you might want to shift your hips a little bit more to center on the mat as your left knee drops. If it feels good, pull that prop in underneath the left knee, and then start to extend the left arm out. It can be extended, it can be goalpost. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep that right leg straight, but you can let it start to relax. So you're not so much pushing through the bottom of your right foot, but instead letting the muscles release. Letting this become a little bit more of a yin pose, where you're letting the opening happen, not from integration, but from relaxation. As your left arm gets heavy, feel your left shoulder head start to relax a little bit closer to the ground, releasing your upper pectorals, opening up your chest, undoing the hunch over the computer or over your phone. And then with your bottom right leg, so the extended one, start to walk that knee back, bend your knee with your left hand, reach down, and maybe you just touch that foot or reach towards it. Potentially you might be able to grab the top of that foot. And if you get a cramp in that right hamstring, you can press your hand into your foot, and that integration usually dissipates the cramp. It's very counterintuitive. Inhale and exhale. In yin, this pose is called cat chasing tail, which I like because you're kind of, touching the opposite foot. You're like a human pretzel, not sure which way is up or down. And then also if you did the extension on that top leg on the first side, then try that here. A little bit hard from a constrained space, but you'll take that foot and extend it out. Whew, I don't know if I can do that on this side. Again, do what feels good for these next 2 breath cycles. So if your knee bent gives you a deeper opening, a deeper supine stretch, then stay there. Take another deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly release the right leg long. Gently guide your left knee back up, plant your left foot down. This time, bring your right foot in to meet it. Gaze down, make sure that your thighs are running parallel. Inhale, press your hips up by pressing your feet down. Start to find some integration in the legs, and then walk your shoulders back underneath you so that they come to meet on your spine. Press into your feet in this bridge pose, and then feel more weight shift into the very top of your back. So across from shoulder to shoulder. With your hands, either press the back of your palms down into the mat or interlace your hands and press the pinky edge down. Notice if your weight shifted to the outside of your feet. Pull your knees a little bit more towards each other. Press more through the big toe mounds. So it's hard to see your legs once you get up into bridge pose, pretty much impossible. But you want to keep your femur heads in line with your hips. So everything's running parallel. Take a deep inhale. Feel your chest expand. Press more through your feet to lift your hips. If you have your hands in a lace, let them break apart. And then exhale slowly. Let your spine come all the way down. Draw your knees into your chest at the bottom. Pull your knees in. And then cross your legs, gently roll up to seated. All right, so we're gonna move into some hips. From here, I'd like you to take your left leg, bring it parallel to the mat, toes back, and you want the middle of the shin to line up about midline of your pelvis, and then take the right leg over top so that your shins line up like logs on a fire. Now, as you gaze down, you should have a triangle, so knee to ankle to torso. And if this is just not very comfortable, if you're like, can't even get that foot over the knee, so this is acceptable, but if you can't get to that point, then you can always extend the bottom leg. So in this case, it's the left leg, or plant that left foot down on the ground, like figure 4 pose. Make sure in whichever variation this top right leg is flexed back, foot is flexed back to keep the knee safe. Pull both of your glutes back so you feel both points of your hips pressing down into the mat. And flex your toes and then pull your hands in by your side. Lift your torso up so that you press your hands down and your spine grows tall. And then feel as though there was a sandbag, a weight pulling your hips down. So you get a little bit of spinal traction here. Take an inhale and exhale. Bend a little bit at the elbows so more weight starts to come down into your hips and you feel your hips rooting down into the mat. You can take your hands and actually squeeze on either side of your hips, pushing in towards midline. And that's where we're starting to get the deepest sensation in this pose. It's also where you might notice one hip, typically the one that's on top, might be lifted. So you want to use your hands to gently press that top leg, so the right leg down. Your thumbs might even come into your hip crease and ground you down. So this is a little bit of a hands-on assist that I might do in class to somebody. Squeeze their hips together and then press their hips down to keep you grounded. Imagine as though your hands, though, were pressing into the mat and you could lengthen your spine. And then from that point, hinging at the hips, fold forward any amount. So this is going to increase the sensation. Now, if you have the leg extended variation, same thing, you can fold. If you have the figure 4, you might walk your foot that's grounded into the floor closer to your hips, and you're going to want to bring your hands down so you can push your chest forward. So from the side, it looks like this if you're a little lost. So you're either here, or in Uttanasana, hinging forward. As you hinge forward, notice if your hips got a little bit light. Use your hands maybe to keep them grounded. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Ooh, so Agni is actually fire. So Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. You can feel like a fire starting in your hips. Deep, deep sensation. So if you feel that fire, that kind of burning, you're doing it right. It's the namesake of the pose. Inhale, slowly.
I feel fire, I just feel extreme pain.
Extreme pain. Don't fold as far forward then. Want to be on that threshold. All right. Both legs come forward, straighten them out. Feel the blood rush down to your ankles. You can even trace that down the length of your legs. I know when I first started doing Agni Sambhasana in my first forest yoga class, being a big like bike commuter, my legs were just nowhere near coming stacked. All right, so we're gonna move on to the right side. So you're gonna take your right shin, bend it in, flex that right foot, and then take your left leg over top. So again, you want the outside of the ankle to stack to the inside of the knee. So knees and ankles stack like a nice straight fire, straight cabin fire. And then the center line of shins lines up with your spine. So you've got an equilateral triangle. If you took a variation on the first side, try and take that same variation on this side so that you meet your hips where they are and match the flexibility on each side. And then again, scoop your glutes back so that you feel a connection at the base. And then tense your finger, press them down by your hips and press down so that you traction your spine nice and tall. So you feel a little lift, right? Your hips are almost floating off the ground. And begin to bend your elbows a little bit so that the weight comes back into the hips, but you keep your spine long. So you feel that length and you keep your head erect. Then take your hands again, press your hips towards each other, like you're pressing them between a vice in towards your spine. And you can give them a little massage if you're feeling that intense fire sensation. With the heels of your hands, maybe just rub. That's right where the head of the IT band kind of comes in. Your psoas comes through there. So with your thumbs, you can kind of get into your hip crease, give it a little massage there. And then with that nice straight spine, take a breath in and exhale, start to deepen. So folding forward, or if you're in that figure four variation, then you're going to start to pull your heel in and with your hands press your chest towards this inside shin. So lots of deep sensation. And then when you feel like, wow, that is intense, take a full breath. Come back to that 7 count breath. It's really amazing how much just counting out a breath allows you to stay on that edge where you find the greatest change in your flexibility. Inhale, slow exhale, maybe letting your chest come a little bit closer towards your shin. Keep pulling your shoulder heads back. So again, this is a hinge and not so much a rounding. Inhale and exhale. You inhale, slowly come up. Again, straighten both legs. Whew. Big release of sensation. This time, pedal out your knees. Yeah. Let your calves just whack, 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 whack down onto the ground, giving a little bit of stimulation to the lymph nodes. Okay, and then pause with your legs straight out in front of you. They can be slightly bent. You're going to draw your left knee in to start. And just like we did on the floor, take your hands interlace, squeeze, and pull that left knee back as far as it'll go. So this is where you might want a strap. So make sure you have a strap nearby. And if you don't have a strap, you're just going to use the waistband of your pants. All right, so with the right leg extended, and also if this is too much on your hamstring, you can always place something like your block or your rolled up blanket underneath that knee. It's going to make it a little bit more comfortable and not so straining on the low back. All right, so with that right leg extended, you're going to take both hands up, inhale, exhale, reach both hands inside that left knee towards your right toes. Take a breath in, straighten your spine. See if you can keep that left hip point down. Mine likes to get really light and lifted. Exhale, fold, reach. Now from this extension, you're going to bend your left arm around your left knee. Take your right arm around your back. Maybe fingertips touch. Mine don't, because I have exceptionally large calves. So you can always take a strap around your back, one on the right hand, one on the left, and then just work your hands towards each other. You can also just find your waistband with your right hand, and then let your left hand come around and then inside that leg. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Keeping that left arm hugging around the left shin. And then see if you can keep your spine straight. So it's not so much about how close your nose is to your knee, but instead finding the fold at your hips instead of rounding in your low back. Take another breath in and then exhale. Inhale slowly, come up, release the strap, release your left leg. This time roll your ankles from one side and then do the opposite direction, counterclockwise probably. All right, and then gently pull your right knee in. Set up a prop underneath your left knee if you did that on the other side and it felt good. Interlace your hands right below your right knee and then pull that knee in. Find compression. Plant your foot down. You don't walk those toes as far back as you can, but try and keep hip width distance apart. So this leg isn't out to the side. Instead, we're running on French fries here, train chucks. All right, plant that foot down. Inhale, reach both arms up. Oops. And then exhale, fold, bringing the right and left hand inside of this right knee, reaching towards your left toes. Take an inhale, see if you can straighten, try and keep that right hip down. Exhale, fold again. Keeping that extension, you're gonna bend the right arm, bring it around so you can see, I barely get it around that leg. And then left hand around. So if it feels good, better, grab a strap, let that lasso around your leg. Or take that hand, the left hand, and grab your waistbands. You can inhale, exhale, fold. As you inhale, feel a big opening in your right shoulder, the back of your right shoulder. Like you're moving your scapula away and starting to open up all those places where the knots are. Take another deep breath in and exhale. So this is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. Slowly release that strap. Move it out to the side. Gently place your right foot long, extended again. Ooh, give it some shakes. And then we're going to roll down onto our back. So this is where you're going to use a prop between your knees. Now, if you don't have a prop tonight, you can use a rolled up blanket or just something that you can squeeze. But if you're just you and your mat, then it'll work fine without it. So you're going to bring the block between your knees. And for me, the thinnest side of the block keeps my femur heads in line with my hips. So you can squeeze your legs together. For some people, that kind of hurts the outside of their hips. So that's why we're opting for this tonight. Bring your knees to a 90-degree bend. Keep squeezing that block so you keep your integration. And then inhale, raise your arms up, interlace them, and then let them cradle the back of your head. Wrap your elbow tips around, flex your feet back. Take an inhale, squeeze the blocks. See if you can lift your hips just slightly, enough so that you can feel your low back pressing down into the mat
Grabs start to turn on. And then exhale, curl both elbow tips up. Now don't move your legs. Instead, use your upper body to get your elbows a little bit closer to your knees. Inhale, lower down halfway so your head stays hovered and the top of your back is lifted. Exhale, curl up, squeeze the block. Inhale, lower, see if you can keep that full lengthened inhale. Exhale, curl up. Notice if you had a big push of air out, see if you can keep it a very consistent exhale. One more time, inhale, lower down halfway, keep your shins hovering at 90 degrees, and then exhale. Inhale, release all the way down, press your feet down into the mat, keep the block where it is, and inhale, lift up, bridge pose. Walk your elbow or your shoulders underneath your chest, interlace your hands or press the back of your hands into the mat, thumbs out, pinkies in. Take a breath in and out. Keep squeezing that block. Now, if you have the block, you want to go a little bit extra on your bridge pose today. You're going to press down through the right foot and bring the left foot forward, straight. Flex through the toes, reach it long. Take a breath in. Whoo, exhale, bring the left foot down. Take a breath out. Move the weight to your left foot. Inhale, straighten your right foot. So it's a straight line from that hip point. Press through the ball of your foot. Take an inhale. And exhale, bring the right foot down. One more breath here in bridge. If you have your hands interlaced, release them and then exhale. Gently set each vertebra down. Once your pelvis comes down to the mat, lift your knees. This time, try to straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. Now, if your legs only come up at a diagonal, that's okay. That's kind of like a bonus. It's a little bit harder on the core. All right, so feet flexed straight up. You can always choose to stay at the bent knee variation as well. And interlace your hands, and then whatever stitch side you did last time, whatever pinky was on the bottom, switch it up. Change up those patterns. Take your thumbs, nestle it right at the base of your skull. Rock your palms around, cradle the weight of your head. Flex your toes, take a breath in and out. Squeeze the block, lift your hips just slightly to hover, breath in. This time, breath out, elbows towards knees. Now we're not pulling our legs up overhead. We're keeping them perpendicular or maybe a little bit out or maybe a little bit bent, but our thighs don't come closer. Inhale, lower the chest down, squeeze the block, press your feet straight up. Exhale, curl elbows, hips up. Inhale, slowly come down, keep the head lifted. Reactivate through the legs, hips slightly hovering. Exhale, curl up. Last time, inhale, lower down halfway, squeeze the block, press your feet straight up, hips lift. Exhale, curl up. If you want, you can hold. Extend your arms straight up towards your toes. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Woo, release, feet come down. Move the block out of the way. Roll over to one side. Whew. Then we'll slowly come up to all fours. Setting up for Dolphin Pose. I think Jane's on tonight. This is a favorite. She's been working on this one. So it takes a long time to build strength for Dolphin. That's okay. That's a goodie. Bring your forearms down so that they are parallel. And then grab opposite bicep so that you have a good hold on that bicep, and that'll give you shoulder width distance apart. I like to walk my elbow tips in just a little bit with this grip because your skin just kind of rolls over the bone of your elbow as you come up. So you want to be set up a little bit to the inside. Then spread your palms, press them down into the mat,
And if your shoulders are a little sensitive tonight, take an interlace and press the pinky edge down. Then tuck your toes, drop your gaze down between your knees so that your head is hanging between both of your biceps. Press actively through your forearms, tuck your toes, inhale, round your upper back. Press the middle of your spine up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale, start to straighten your legs. Coming into dolphin. So it's like downward facing dog, but we've got forearms on the mat. Press down more through your thumb, through your pointer finger, and then press through your forearms to shift your ears a little bit more through the gateway of your arms. Keep a gentle bend in your knees. Walk your toes in a little bit closer. Take an inhale. And then exhale. See if you can let your heels drop a little bit closer to the mat. So you feel the weight start to shift back into the legs. Inhale into your upper back. Feel it expand. Feel your hips climb a little bit higher. Exhale. Now, if you have a little bit more room, bend your knees gently. Maybe walk your toes in a little bit closer. Inhale. Expand in your upper back. Press your hips back by pressing through your forearms. Exhale. Let your heels drop. Take 2 more breaths. Again, trying to get that same length of breath as we did on our back at the very beginning of class. And at the bottom of your last exhale, slowly bring your knees down. Keep your knees and your hips stacked. Look forward and walk your hands forward. Utkatasana. So it's like a puppy dog that wants to play. Fingertips reach forward. Your forehead can come down, elbows lifted, or gaze to your thumbs, chin and chest come down at the same time. Take an inhale and exhale. All right, inhale, lift your head, lift your gaze forward, pull your hands back onto the mat. Bend your elbows, inhale, slide forward, upward facing dog. Press through the tops of your feet, lift your hips up, pull your shoulder heads back. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your hips up, curl over your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. We have been on our butts the whole time, but I think it's felt pretty good. Good stretch. Now we're getting onto our feet. All right, press through your hands, lift your hips high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let your heels again drop a little bit. Keep a gentle bend in your knees. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, slowly walk your way to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward folds. Now, this is where we're gonna want a prop, potentially, to press our hand into. So if you have, you can use like a water bottle that is substantial. You can use a can of soup, a book on its side, maybe a candle that is not lit. All right, inhale, press up halfway, and just have it somewhere near the front of your mat. Exhale, fold. Press through your feet. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then exhale, drop your hands down to your heart center. Let your thumbs rest on your sternum. Draw your shoulder heads back. Find a strong Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Lift your kneecaps up, activate your legs. Find that strength here from your stance. Then lift your gaze. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold in 2. Finger pads come down. Step your left leg back. Lower your left knee down and press the top of your left foot down. Inhale, swim both arms up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Draw your right knee forward. Take a breath in and out. Plant your hands down, tuck your toes, and step back into a plank position.
Hands spread underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Let your hips rest down, press the top of your feet down. Inhale, lift your shoulder heads and your gaze up, Cobra. Exhale, lower all the way down. Tuck your toes, press up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Coming into a lunge, this time you'll lower your right knee down, press the top of your right foot down. Inhale, both of your arms up. And exhale. Press your back foot down, draw your front knee forward. Take another breath in. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your back toes, step forward. Press through your feet, inhale, draw yourself all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Then inhale, sweep arms up, around and down, forward fold. Fingertips come down, stretch the right leg back, right knee down, top the right foot down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands down. Tuck your back toes, step back to plank. Take a breath here in plank. Your core is super turned on, so it's already engaged. And exhale, lower all the way down. Hips heavy, press the top of your feet down. Inhale, lift up Bhujangasana. Hold in this Cobra. Grip your finger pads down and draw your elbow tips back by your sides. Press your hips down so that you feel your chest reaching forward between your shoulders. And there's an activation that's helping support your low back. Exhale, lower down, tuck toes. Inhale, press up and back, down dog. Right leg lifts. Exhale, bring your right leg forward, left knee down. Press the top of your left foot down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your back toes, big step forward on empty, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. Exhale, hands together at heart center. So that is a classic namaskar or sun salutation. We're going to start to add more things in. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg back, left knee down. Press the top of your left foot down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hold your low lunge. Shift your hips forward and then pause. Imagine as though you could freeze the bottom of your body, just where it is, like a statue. Take that block, prop, plant it outside of your right hip, and press your right hand down into that prop. And if your prop is a little bit low, don't worry, we're gonna get there. But you want to essentially have a cross where your low body is across the midline of your mat long way. And then as you press your right hand down, lift your left arm up, inhale. Exhale, start to cross the left arm overhead. So you're switching it up. You should feel this really nice stretch all the way from your grounded left knee up through your left fingertips. So across your psoas, across your left side ribs, and then let your right ear drop to your right shoulder. Inhale, reach through your fingers. Exhale, settle a little bit more in your hips. Drawing that right knee maybe a little bit more forward. Take another breath in and out. Then pressing through your right hand, come back up, both arms up. Exhale, plant them to frame your right foot, tuck your back toes. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lower again, all the way down to the mat. This time, I want you to walk your hands forward. Press the top of your feet down. Inhale, rise up, Cobra. Put your hands are about a foot forward of where they usually are under your shoulders. Draw your chest through. Take another breath in. And then exhale, lower your chest down, tuck your toes, press up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot forward, lower your right knee down, press the top of your right foot down. Take your prop, move it to the left side. Inhale, sweep both of your arms up, Untitled Low Lunge. Exhale, shift a little bit forward, find that deep opening in your hip, and then pause there. Freeze the bottom half of your body like a statue into this nice, long, luxurious lunge. And then left hand comes down, find your prop. And if you're not using a prop at all, it can come down to the mat. You're just gonna get a super duper side stretch. All right, so pressing that left hand into your prop, reach up with your right hand, and then exhale, right arm overhead towards the left side. So again, you're feeling that stretch originating all the way down to your knee, up across your psoas, over your side ribs, out through your shoulder. Take another breath in and out. One more, inhale, really feeling a filling in your right lung, stretching into your right side ribs. Exhale. Press into your left hand, inhale, pull your torso back up, and then exhale, plant both hands to frame your front foot, tuck your back toes. Step forward, no air in your lungs. Whew. Makes it a little bit easier to make that transition. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Moving on to the right side, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back, right knee down. Inhale, lift up, Uttanasana, low lunge. Exhale, block is already on the left side. You press your left hand down into block. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, find that side stretch. Either stay here. You can bring that right elbow down, finding a little twist. So just an option, taking it a little bit further. Left hand comes on top. I like to make a fist with my right hand, and then like rock, paper, scissors, Rochambeau, the paper comes over the rock. You can also take prayer, both hands pressing palms together. See if you can lengthen out a little bit more through the crown of your head if you're taking the twist, or relax your neck if you're taking just the side stretch. Just slowly release. Both hands down, tuck your back toes, step back, plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. This time, move your palms out to the side. Tent up your hands, so fingertips down, palms up. Inhale, rise up, Cobra. It's like a king cobra. You got your arms out wide, draw your elbow tips back, lift your chest, take a breath in. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes, press up, back, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee down into the lunge, shift the block onto the right side, right by your hip. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take that side stretch. Right palm into the prop, left arm overhead. Breathe in. Stay here or bend your elbow, cross it over, find that twist. So again, palm into a fist on the bottom, and then other palm over top. Press. You can see how you integrate, get a little bit of length, and then exhale, twist, start to draw that right shoulder back. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more time, inhale and exhale. And then slowly release. Bring both hands down to frame the right foot, tuck the back toes, and step forward. Forward fold. Inhale, both arms up.
Exhale, hands down to heart center. All right, so we're gonna add one more thing onto our sun flow. Getting a little bit more into the legs at the front and the back. All right, but we got this. Rolled pros. Inhale, arms up. This time, exhale, sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose. So I want you to gaze down at your feet. I want to be hip width distance apart. Imagine you have that block in between your knees to keep them spaced, but still pressing in so that your thighs turn on. Then I like to curl my toes up off the mat, but press the pads of my feet down and then move a little bit more of the weight back into your heels. Your arms can be up, they can also be forward and just plugging back into your shoulder sides. Now, automatically I start to find a little bit of compression in my lumbar spine. See if you can lengthen down that lumbar spine. So you can do pinky and thumb and just press that into your low back. Sit down a little bit lower. Take an inhale. Exhale, fold. Step your left leg back, left knee down. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, right arm down. Now you can go with or without the block. Left arm overhead, side stretch. Inhale. Exhale, come into that twist. Left elbow over right knee. Inhale. And exhale, deepen the twist. Slowly unwind, hands down. Tuck your back toes. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. You choose your favorite Cobra that we've done so far. And our hands under the shoulders, hands out wide or hands forward. Rise up, Cobra. Exhale, lower down. Hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes, press up and back. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step your left leg forward, lower your right knee down. Inhale, arms up, Uttanasana. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up. Take a breath in. Bend your right elbow. Exhale, come across. Find that twist. Inhale, press top arm into the bottom to open your chest. Exhale. Inhale, slowly unwind. Exhale, both hands down. Then I want you to heel toe your left foot out to the left side and bring both hands down to the inside of your left foot. So your left toes will point a little bit more out to the side of your mat. Tuck your right toes under. Step forward, Malasana at the front of your mat. Lower your hips down. We did this a lot last week. You'll bring your elbow tips to the inside of your knees. Press your palms together. Now you might have heels lifted. You might be up a little bit high. You might be down low. If you do have a prop, you can always slip it underneath your heels, especially if you're using a blanket. Take a breath in and a breath out. And more inhale and exhale. Inhale, press your feet to come to standing. Spin your toes forward and heel toe them hip width distance apart. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Toes up, ground through your heels. Drop your hips a little bit farther down. Lengthen your low back, gaze forward, inhale. Reach your arms up as much as your shoulders allow. Notice if when you brought your arms up, you started to get a really big sway in your low back. Try and keep your back long and not so much of a chest opener. See if you can lower your hips down even more. Take another breath in. Whew, exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back. Right knee comes down. Press the top of the right foot down. Inhale, Asana Low Lunge. Exhale, left arm
comes down to the side. Inhale, right arm up and over. Exhale. Start to bend that left or right elbow. Hook it outside your left foot. Inhale. Find that twist. And exhale. Inhale, slowly unwind. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, hold and plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Find your favorite Cobra or try something new. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower down. Hands under your shoulders, press up and back. Downward facing dog, right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot forward, lower your left knee down. Inhale, sweep both of your arms up. Exhale, bring your right hand down outside of your hip. Inhale, stretch your left arm across. And out. Start to bend the left elbow. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press the top hand into the bottom twist. One more breath cycle here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, slowly unwind. Bring both hands down. Bring them to the inside of that right foot. Heel toe it out. And then spin on your heel. Right toes out to the side. Tuck your back toes. Inhale. Exhale, step forward into Malasana at the front of your mat. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of opening in Malasana. So if this is uncomfortable for you and your heels are lifted, take your mat, lift it up, fold it over. And you can do this a couple times or get really creative, lots of folds. And you can place your heels, especially if you have a thinner mat, you might do many folds. You're gonna place your heels on that. So that might help a little bit if your heels are lifted. Okay. You've just been hanging out in Malasana with me that whole time. Great, your hips are uber open now. All right, so bend your elbows into your knees. Then you're gonna take your left hand, straighten it, scoop the left knee back and ground that left hand down. Inhale, sweep your right arm up, start to open your chest. Another breath in. And then as you exhale, bring that right arm forward, scoop it to the inside of your right knee, plant that hand down. Inhale, left arm up. I like to lift my gaze up towards that hand so that my whole chest opens. Your breath in and a breath out. Reach that arm forward. Again, scoop the left knee back. Inhale, right arm up. You can stay here, or if you'd like to, you can take a bind. Palm back behind you, bend that hand. So you can take a half bind. And this is kind of nice if you feel like your knees are knocking in towards each other to keep using this hand as a prop to hold that knee back. Or you can bend, maybe reach fingertips again. I like to use a strap when I'm here because my fingers don't really touch, but it doesn't matter. Not here. You just reach fingertips energetically towards each other. If you're in the full bind, slowly release. Eventually extending that right arm up and then stretching it forward. Scoop the right knee back. Inhale, left arm up. Spin your thumb out. Bend your elbow. Take that half bind. Maybe scoop around that right knee. Taking the full bind. Breath in. And breath out slowly. Release. Bringing both hands down. So we're going to stretch into our upper back. Walk your hands forward. Let your chin drop into your chest. See if you can pull the weight a little bit back. I like to do this in the grass when I teach outside because you can actually grab a hold of the grass and like let it be a prop. We just have to reach energetically. Keep our fingers grounded. And then eventually move your hands behind you and drop your pelvis down to the ground. Slowly extend both legs out, setting them out so that the heels are as wide as your mat, and lower yourself down to the mat. Press your hands into the mat. Draw your shoulders together under your back so that your chest remains lifted. Inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, let that wave of the exhale release all of your muscles down your body. Again, inhale. And exhale. 2 more times, deep breath in. Let the exhale be like a wave, relaxing from head down to your toes. Last time, breath in and out. And slowly pull your feet in, bending your knees. Planting your feet on the ground. And then drop your knees to one side. Roll over onto your side. Pause, take a breath. And then gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Draw your hands together at heart center. When your thumbs touch your sternum, pull your shoulder heads back. Imagine you're still pressing into the ground, traction your spine nice and long. Gently, on your next inhale, draw your thumbs up to your third eye center, middle of your forehead. Be curious. Follow your bliss. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight's community yoga class for Patagonia.